What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, we're ready to go. Nice clean bull day today. Volatility's cleaning up. Things are good. We should be rallying probably a little bit. I don't think we're gonna get big big drops anymore until earnings. So be careful. Like basically today, we might still trickle up higher and higher and higher, and then Google and Tesla earnings could make a big difference. I don't know if they're going to be very high impact on the tariffs. We'll have to see, right? I mean, Tesla is the big one. I don't know if Google is going to be affected by it. But I don't know. What do you guys think about earnings? That's my thought. How much pass-through do you think we'll see of the price increases to the customers in a lot of these companies, right? According to JPal, it's much less than we saw. We saw the PPI supporting that. Right, the PPI is supporting the idea that there's not a lot of pass-through on the manufacturer side. The wholesale like prices, you know, things are not as high as we thought, so they're not like really. Companies are absorbing the prices much better than we thought. Music's a bit loud. My bad. My bad. Sorry. Sorry. My bad. Sorry. How do giveaways work for here? Just full port your trades and make all the money. Wait, hold on. How do giveaways work here? Did I just full port your trades and make all the money ever? That's like two questions in one. That's what you're asking. All you got to do is be here for the giveaway. You got 20 points there. Very, very, very nice. Today we're watching banks accumulate positions for earnings futures forever. Nailed it. You nailed it. Is it codes? No, we do a random drawing on the actual giveaway itself on the stream. So I do a little wheel spinny thing. So in a minute or 10 minutes or 20 minutes, whenever I do the giveaway, I'll let you guys know and I'll tell you how to enter. Simple as that. All right, guys, do me a favor, smash that like button. We'll be giving away 2 accounts today. We're going to be giving away 5 accounts tomorrow. And on Friday, we'll be giving away 5 Elite Trader Funding direct to funded accounts on Friday. And every day in the morning, if I get 1,100 viewers, I give away a straight to funded account with Tradeify in addition to all of that. So, pretty decent day today. Here's my P&L. I haven't done anything since this last update here, so I'm just kind of chilling, waiting for something. I don't know if I'm gonna really get anything, but I managed to turn the day green. I'm on like a 3-day streak now, which is good. I'm almost back to 200K mark with the Tradeify, which is good. Getting close. Today we're giving away 2. Oh, actually, let me start over. Today we're giving away 2 scale accounts, I think. Tomorrow we're giving away 5 pro accounts, and then Friday we're giving away 5 Elite Trader Funding direct to funded accounts. Very awesome. Very awesome. Guys, we hit 30,000 subs on this channel. Our channel's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger every week. Did you know last week, the total views on this channel were up 40% over the previous week? It's incredible how big it's getting here. And every week has been bigger than last week. It's just completely blowing my mind. I'm absolutely thrilled that you guys have been supporting the channel and growing with us. We've been growing at MyFunded TV. It's just been just this huge whirlwind, man. That's so crazy to see it growing like this. 30K subs. Am I a scalper? Yeah. I'm a real money futures trader. I trade, not really scalper. I trade intraday day trades, usually between like 8 and 30 minutes of my day trade time. Currently, I'm working through 7 funded next accounts. Oh wait, one of them I haven't even made a trade on yet. I could probably work on that one today. Let's put that one front and center. Or actually, let me just do this one. I'm working on 7 funded next accounts. I have a My Funded Futures live account. I have an Elite Trader Funding live account. And I have 5 Tradeify straight to funded accounts. The combination of these accounts are up almost $200,000 in profit since I started doing them in March. Pretty nice. So these guys I'm working towards live. It'll be my 3rd live account with prop firms this year. I just started doing props recently, so this is all new to me. And my goal, can I be on every major prop firm live account? And this is that moment of the day where my browser's all crashed. There we go. All these trade evade instances always crash things out. Just reboot everything. So that's it. We're just, you know, trucking along with that. I recently just got invited to go speak on Top Step TV, so I don't even know. I'm kind of debating what you guys think. I'll let y'all vote. Should I go on Top Step? They asked me to come on there and have a debate with them. Should I do it? Yes or no? Should I go? Should I? No. You guys, I know you guys are like all split down the middle on if I should go or not. Show them what's up. Am I better than Top Step? You guys are so friendly. It's a hard pass. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like a polarizing question. Dakota told me, he's like, I want to get you on the show so we can have an open debate about some things in the prop space. And I was like, all right, that sounds fun, actually. Like a friendly debate. You know, we're friendly with each other. It wasn't like a like an aggressive sort of thing. And I was like, yeah, it'd be good for publicity, I guess, but I don't know. That's my real question. Only you want to grow your brand? Yeah, the debate. What's the beef? It's not really beef. So yesterday, this is the thing everybody's talking about, right? My Funded Futures added a whole lot of good stuff to the mix, right? And then they, as a pullback, they went from their 90-10 split to the 80-20 split. And there was like, you know, obviously on the surface, the marketers go ham on this and they're like 80-20, it's now trash, blah, blah, blah. And the Top Step crew comes out there and is like, yeah, why would anybody pick 80-20 when 90-10's better? And then I come in there like the math nerd I am and saying, well, better is subjective because every prop firm is like, give you this, take away this. You can't just look at one thing and say you're trash and we're not because of another thing. I was like, come on. I was like, you can't just say that. There's more than just the profit split. There's additional value for the loss that you get. With My Funded, you get extra accounts to trade. There's tremendous value there. I would take a profit split to be able to trade 2 extra accounts difference. Like I would actually like that because every account you trade is high probability that some of them make money to begin with that would have normally blown up. There's value in some of those things, right? So then I did some math. I was like, you know, of all the people that are trading, this is the real math that I did. You can even look at the My Funded Discord and actually see, you know, what the normal payouts are. The majority of traders and prop firms are going to make like no money whatsoever. So it doesn't matter if you're 80% or 90% of zero, you're making zero. That's zero. So that argument doesn't even apply to almost everybody. They'll have the people that are making money. The majority, 99% of those people are making about the $1,000 payout-ish. And about 1% of 1% are making the full max of the 100K. So when that being said, practically nobody is affected by the split change. And the people that are, the magnitude is very small. The overwhelming majority of this little piece of the pie of people that are roughly in the $1,000 range of payouts. Now, 90-10 split is a $100 difference before tax, right? So it's not really that big of a deal because you're talking about $100 or less worth of difference for most people. Not really like the difference between something's trash and something's not. Now, the people the higher end of the bell curve, well, they get to make 100K now instead of 25K. And this part of it is like, well, you get a bigger piece of, instead of you don't want a bigger piece of a grape, 90% of 25, you want 80% of 100K. It's a smaller piece of watermelon, right? So you get more fruit. So in reality, it's this crew that's kind of like, we get less money, which I do sympathize with. So the question becomes, because $1,000 payout, once you get taxes involved, is what, 37? So you're down to $660 of net payout. Well, actually, let's do 37. So it's $900 versus $800 times taxes. Let's just round up to 40, right? So this is 36, 360 lost, and 32 lost. If we round to 40 on taxes, you're talking this is $540 of an actual payout after taxes versus 480. It's a $60 difference for the vast overwhelming majority of people in the, oh my God, 80-20 is trash. $60 per payout on the net. Is that question becomes, are you getting $60 of value? Absolutely you are. The idea that the scaling is better on the payouts? Yes. The idea that you get 2 extra accounts to trade? Yes. That's $60 of the value immediately per payout. I think that that's incredible value, actually. I feel like 1 extra account is worth hundreds of dollars of value, if not more, because you get the ability to maybe not blow up because you have an extra account to play to get to a payout to begin with. Right, so I brought this up, and obviously people are like, that's stupid, that's really dumb, because I'm making less money. And then I'm like, well, you're not really making money. You're not actually really trading in prop firms. You're sim trading. It's not money until you get a payout. It's not even a profit split. There's not even any profit to split. You're not even making a profit. You're getting a paycheck to sim trade. You're getting a payout reduction. So like the 90-10 split or 80-20 split, people incorrectly call it a profit split. It's not really a profit split. The firm's not keeping any amount of money you're making. You're not making any money. You're not actually really trading. And that's the core of all of this. This is not even real trades. You're just getting a payout reduction. So it's arbitrary. Whether somebody goes, let me give you a 100K payout, or let me give you a 100K salary. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Well, somebody says, let me give you an 80K salary. Oh, yeah, that's kind of cool. And so I said, well, actually, let me give you a 100K salary, but take 20% out of it. But that's still an 80K salary. Yeah, we just labeled it different. So for my end, I still get 80K either way. Yeah, that's right. All the hard work I put in, my payout's 80K. Yeah. So what's the difference between 80% of 100K versus just marketing it as an 80K payout? I don't know why they choose to do that. It sounds better to say it's an 80K payout, but whatever. But people are like, but they're taking my money. I'm like, nobody's taking your money. You're not actually making money. You're just paper trading. So the big argument comes down to, Top Step like flexing on, well, we're better now. And I'm like, well, technically I wouldn't say so. And then they were like, well, why don't you come on, let's have a debate about it. And I'm like, do I want to walk into a place and debate with the Top Step TV traders about which prop firm is better? I don't want to go in there and do that, even though I'd bat for my funded futures. I kind of would like to go in there. And I told him, I was like, if you can get MP on there, I'll come have a debate with him about the prop industry in general. I'd love to have a bigger conversation with MP. And I sent him a message and asked him if he wanted to come on the show with me if I go on. And I said, only go on. I'm like, I'll only go on if you go on. So we'll see what he says. Profit split is not really a profit split. This is where the prop industry, or where you guys have kind of drank the Kool-Aid too much. You're not actually trading. There's no profit to be made. You're not profiting. You're paper trading. At the end of the day, everybody's paper trading, getting paid to do it. It's a salary reduction. And in reality, it's arbitrary at this point. Like I said, somebody offers you $100,000 and we'll give you 80% of 100,000 as your salary. Okay, cool. That's 80K. And someone else, yeah, but I'll give you 80K. Which one of the two is better? The same fucking thing. So it's a moot argument to argue that. Now, some people may say, well, I'm trading like it's 100K, but then they're not giving me everything I made. And I said, well, to their point, you can scale up 20% of your position to adjust for the loss either way. Again, the position size is arbitrary because, again, you're paper trading. It's not like you're risking anything. So the extra reward is not actually really reward that you risk anything for. The cost of the account is same no matter what you scale. So anyways, I had a bunch of math to support that. And the last thing I want to do is have a debate with the Top Step TV traders about trying to say why my funded futures is better, because that'll just be an ambush for sure. I'd like to go in there and actually talk about the prop industry in general, but it'd be kind of fun. So maybe I should go. Yeah, they're not, yeah, they're not trying to be intellectual. Clearly, I understand. It's more of a, oh, let's get Matt on here so he can beat up on my funded and just talk about how TopStep is better. Which is exactly what the point is. And I'm like, not only will I run circles around these guys pretty quickly, it kind of just be, it would make my funded look bad because I'd be going in there and, you know, trying to say how it's better in TopStep, and then it could be perceived as I'm trying to make TopStep sound worse when I like both companies and every company's good. So because of that, I said I'll only go on. I told him, yeah, I'll only go on if you and I can chat about the prop industry and not talk about the companies. So we'll see. It's a reduction in pay, but the reduction isn't that big relatively for most of us. And Fraser kind of nailed it, right? Because for most people, it's not going to be a big deal. It's only a big deal if you paid a $77 for an account and then you're only getting a payout that's $53 smaller. That's really what it is after taxes. And so is $53 really worth a big deal over? And I say, like, I'd like to say I don't think so, right? But again, everyone's different. It's okay to be different and feel it is, because it could be a big deal to you. I think getting 2 extra accounts makes the reduction worth it. It's a risk lowering step for the firm. So I think it's cool. I like it, but that's just me. I like to look at everything with value. Like, I'm the kind of guy that would pay $200 for an account to pass in 5 days, but then pay $400 for an account that'll pass in 4. I think that's insane value. I'd like to pay 50% more of the price if I can get twice as many accounts, because I can scale those better and split the risk up better, right? I find value in other areas, right? That's how I am. Welcome to the stream, you guys. Love y'all. Don't forget to smash the like button there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But that's it. So, can I adopt you? 100%. Welcome to the family, son. I got a contractor coming today to install. They're going to start building our big movie theater wall that we're building. Like, giant. I want to tell you, I'll show you guys pictures. Very cool what we designed. So whenever they knock on the door in about an hour, I might have to run out, but you can buy 3/4 of the price of one TopStep. If you're not getting paid, it's no brainer. Yeah. And the finality of the argument is kind of hard because I can't really present this as a representative of big prop. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like this. My answer to all this is like, you guys are all fucking spoiled. That's all I'm going to say. You all get paid to sim trade. Okay, let's go back to 2016 when 2016 when I started streaming. You can get paid to sim trade. The idea that the debate is like who gets paid slightly more to sim trade. You're getting paid to paper trade. It's good everywhere. None of this is bad. That's really the end of this. That's the end of the whole debate. And I can go on there and just say, guys, you're all dumb for arguing this. You're getting paid to paper trade, guys. Ooh, market's hot. What's going on here? All right, let's check it out. A little bit of movement. Is Orange Man talking? Let's see. Let's go to my financial juice. Check it out. The bond auction. No, that was already earlier. 20-year. Trump trade advisor Navarro on U.S. EU deal report. Take it with a grain of salt. Here's the report. Never mind. That is funny. Well, like I said, VIX is just being VIX. Let's double check that we didn't cross the barrier on VIX again, and we haven't. We're still okay. This should tighten up pretty quick. Do I want to try to take a stab at this? You know what? I'll be over trading. Maybe. Hold on. Would I? Well, where would I trade it to, though? I don't want to trade across the gap for 40 points. Not with negative res. I'm going to hold off. Navarro's talking. Just bullshit. Yeah, VIX less than triple B, Dom. I know, right? It's exciting, dude. Is this the female group of contractors? LOL. No. Nope. Levitt barking. Financial Juice. Juice. Financial Juice website. I have a southern drawl, so it might have sounded like I said something different. I kind of slur my speech a little bit. Worth every penny. Financial juice. Oh, financial juice is an absolute gold mine. I got lucky and bought Lifetime when it first came out. When Amar first built that site, is a guy I knew way back in the day, and he was like offering $500 Lifetime way back in the day. I don't think it's like that 500. I don't think they have ever offered that again. It was like if you get in early, we just built this site, $500 Lifetime. Dude, I snatched that up and I've had it for I don't know how many years, maybe like 7-8 years, whenever they started it. And is it like $697 now? Oh yeah, that's even a deal at $697. Yeah, I got like most of the people in my original stream, my DTP stream, we all jumped when it was $500. We all bought it. It was like a no-brainer to get. That's actually not bad. $697. It's a good deal. I mean, it's an aggregate, right? So they grab news sources from online and post them. They're usually no more than a minute late. They're usually a minute or less, which is great for like an internet-based news feed. You're not actually on a news wire, which will cost a whole lot of money. So for like a free-ish sort of thing, that's not costing you tens of thousands a month of like real-time news data. It's actually pretty nice. It's very good for retail traders. Yeah, I think the best dollars you ever spent. Yeah, I think it's like one of the best investments you can make in trading. And it's just like it's such an easy service to navigate through. You just pick your sources. I watch like CNBC and Market Watch, a couple places, earnings details and things like that. Yeah, super worth it. You need a news feed at any point in time. The best news feeds are usually you pay for them, right? And you can get like real-time news feeds coming through, but you're gonna have to pay a lot for them, hundreds of months sometimes. Yeah. Lifetime rocket scooter, definitely worth it, right? Temporary news, just feel the imbalance. Yeah, it was just temp news. I thought about grabbing the dip on it, but I didn't touch it. Just get a Bloomberg terminal. Easy, LOL. Those are pretty expensive though, aren't they? They used to, I always remember them just being expensive. But anyways, so you guys understand, like with the prop space stuff, I'm kind of deciding, unless I can have a greater talk with MP about props in general and the direction of the prop industry. Like I'd like to get on Top Step and like ask about the self-regulatory organization and things like that, and the you know, platform, I guess I'll say like platform monopoly sort of mentality. Like I want to have bigger debates on freedom of traders and things like that. But yes, my answer to what's better, 80-20 or 90-10, is shut the F up. You guys are getting paid to paper trade and you're arguing over $50 after taxes. Like MFFU offers tremendous value, especially a cheap end of the day drawdown. Imagine trading Top Step. I mean, not Top Step, Apex, right? Where you're paying $200 all in activated, right? For a trailing drawdown account. And at my funded, it's $77 for end of the day with no DLL and no consistency roll. Like a sub $100 end of the day drawdown account is absolutely unheard of. It's just great that they found a way to give you guys a cheap, easy account to play with. I found that to be amazing value, but again, that's just me. I wouldn't touch a trailing drawdown account if you paid me to do it. Like, who wants to get punished while winning? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. So, you know, it's a tremendous value over much of what's out there. But I think Top Step is very testy because they've been losing market share because of the prop explosion. Just made so many very good options out there right next to them that they're just slowly losing a little bit of market share to all these bigs, especially now that Funded Next and Funding Ticks are both entering the space. The two Forex giants now, and there's another Forex giant coming in the future space. Everybody, there's all kind of competition. Futures is becoming very cutthroat now, and that's just all it is. So they're going to be like nipping at each other, and you got to understand that. But I don't think I want to walk into a Top Step ambush where I'm forced to like prove that I think my funded futures is better. That'll just look bad for me and for my funded, just because I'll have to like rip Top Step a new asshole just to walk circles around them. And I like Top Step, so I guess to, you know, I might avoid that. I might avoid going on there to talk about that. in a debate, I would certainly win because I did last night. I went over all the pieces of both accounts, and I can provide a solid piece of evidence. There's no monetary value. You have to value it yourself. But what kind of value do you give the extra accounts? And I can prove that's tremendous value. I can give statistics on your win rate going higher overall on every prop account. If you add them all up together, your win rate overall goes higher with more accounts to trade per dollar. So I can say win rate per dollar will go up. The fact that you can trade more accounts per dollar that you buy. I can prove that very easily. And it's very math heavy and it's got a lot of graphs. I can put it together and I'm sure the guys will just go like, yeah, but like 80% sucks. Right. And I feel like I'll be completely mismatched in my debate. So I'd win because it's not a debate on who's smarter. It's a debate on, are the accounts still worth something? And I don't think they can prove that they're not. I don't think there's a case to prove they're not. There's tremendous value. My fund is better than just about everything out there. Dollar per drawdown is good. Dollar per rule is good. So like the rules that you don't have, how much is it worth to have DLL on an account? What's the price that you would pay to not have DLL? Right? I can prove each one of those is tremendous value. And so that's what I would probably do. Matt has unlimited aura. LOL. But yeah, so I don't want to get in a debate on which company is better. That's not fruitful for anybody. Watch their two brain cells overheat, and they're nice over there. They're pretty nice. Somebody said I could win a debate against JP Morgan. Well, he's dead, so that wouldn't be too hard. What a 15K personal account, what's a good scaling plan with the personal account? So in general, right, you're still trading. So the first rule of thumb that I tell you, again, non-investment advice. So take this with a grain of salt, brother. CME Group website, right? Google CME margins. Always do this to answer that question. Anytime you're talking about a real account, you need to understand how much it costs at this current moment in time to trade futures. You're going to go to span 2. You can go to all exchanges, click whatever you're trading. Let's assume you're doing the S&P, right? I'll just put something in there. And we're going to find the maintenance long portion of this. The maintenance long is usually the more conservative of the two. Use the biggest one. So right now, currently, maintenance long is 21,326. I'm writing it in white. That's why you can't see it, but it should be there. Okay, cool. So 21,326 is the maintenance long. The first thing you're going to do is multiply that by 1.1 to get the entry margin, right? So that ends up being, let's just write it up here, 685,432, period. Okay, so that is $23,458. Okay. So what you're going to do as a good rule of thumb is a scaling plan is you're going to take this number divided by your net lick that you're talking about, 15K. Right. And let's just say that that's roughly going to be like 7 micros. I'm just estimating, but let's do the real math, right? 15,000. My mental math is, see if I'm on point here. 6, okay, 6.3. So close to 7, yeah. So the answer is 6.3 micros. So what 6.3 micros is really good for in that particular atmosphere, let's say that it's 7. Let's just round up to 7. Okay. And say that you're trading 7 micros of S&P. Every trade you're going to take on the S&P with a 10-point stop as an example in non-volatile is $350 of loss per trade on a 7 micro plan. $350 on your 15K balance. This is a good balance. I've used this equation my entire life. I still use it with any balance. I always use this. So $350 divided by 15,000, as you see, your standard trade is only 2% loss per account. And that's a really conservative approach. Does that make sense? And as you get bigger, you just scale the same equation. So $350 per 10 is only 2% of your account. It's very manageable. In the worst case scenario, you fall asleep on a risk interval dive on a news event, right? And the S&P futures the same way as 60 points, right? 60 points becomes, and that equation will keep you roughly at 2%. 60 points, right? Let's see, 60 points at 7 micros. What that's 2,100 bucks. Well, let me do the math again. I just multiplied 3 numbers in my head. Wait, I said, what did I say? 60 points. So 60 points times, times $50 a point times 0.7 is $2,100. Yep, that was right. Okay. Damn, I'm still sharp after all these years. $2,100. Worst case scenario, you fall asleep for 60 points on 7 micros. 21 divided by 15,000. Say that you didn't have a stop loss. You completely fucked up. You went to sleep, forgot to do it. You're only roughly, oops. $14% of your account. So worst case scenario, market just drops 60 whole points. You're roughly, it usually stays around 12%, give or take, and it's roughly 14% worst case scenario with 7 micros, meaning you forgot to put a stop in and you fell 60 points. So equivalent 60 points, right, is 240 points in NASDAQ. So I mean, that would have to like completely fall like way off the chart and you're not paying attention. And then you're not even over 15% of your account. If you follow this, I call this the you should never blow up equation. Of course you can blow up, no guarantees, but that equation is perfect. So again, it is your net lick divided by 1.1 times your maintenance requirements, the longer of the two, which is usually maintenance requirement long and span 2. That makes sense? That's really good, Matt. Thank you. Yeah, of course. So Lee, when you're approaching that, that's a starting point. In reality, you want to trade with what you're comfortable with. Just know that you're going to be dealing with your normal, 10 and maybe somewhat bigger stops when the market's volatile. Keep yourself. I like to keep myself around here because you're inching forward and growing. And it's like if you just have 2 or 3 bad trades on a single day, it's only 6% of your account. It's not like you're going to have 2 or 3 bad trades and you're down 40% of your account. What this does is this deleveraged futures to be almost at cash equivalent value to gain points per dollars per point on move. If you divide by the margin requirement, you're not using intraday margin that's given, you're deleveraging your position down to cash value in a way. Did I explain this better in the boot camp? Oh, I feel like every time I teach it, I get better at explaining it. Plus, well, at the time that I recorded the boot camp videos, I also had like a really nasty flu. So I was basically high on medicine the whole time and on cough syrup. And, I was just kind of drowsy and couldn't even talk. So maybe it got better a little bit. But that's the equation I've always used and I still use to this day to scale my account. Now, sometimes I'll feel a little bit like more, I'll like, let me take 2R instead of like normal. Like I'm gonna do double what I normally will do. So then instead of whatever I end up being, I can double that position size or triple that if I want to go extra aggressive. The idea is if you take like 2 trades a day, which is kind of my philosophy, try to take like 2 trades a day. So if I trade 2 times in a row and I lose at 350 at that account, right? That's $700 a day. Right? And then you do that, say you lose 5 days in a row, 2 trades a day. Oh my God, that's crazy, right? So that's $3,500. You have the worst week of your life. You lose 2 trades every single day for 5 days in a row. Lose. It's still less than 20% or about 20% of your account. So even your bad weeks aren't going to push you out. And so it's a good rule of thumb as a starting point and then adjust from there. But in reality, in trading, it's again, not investment advice for you guys to, follow this to a T, but this is a starting point I always used. And it's a starting, if you need a starting point, just think about percentage loss, how much you're willing to lose per trade per day. And it's a great rule of thumb for scaling is that equation will scale you as you make more. You can step up from 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 micros. And as the margin requirement changes, your scaling also changes as well. The market becomes more volatile. Margin requirement is bigger. It forces you to trade smaller, which is even better. The market becomes less volatile and more liquid, then it allows you to trade bigger in a bull market. Like that equation is magic to even tailor your trading to the market that you're in. But I make more than 2 trades per day. Right, so you'll have to decide like, it's just a guideline for my rules of thumb. If you trade 5 trades a day or 10 trades a day, your goal is what does your worst week look like? Are you okay with that worst week? That's the real answer that you need. If you lose every day for a week, how much are you willing to lose of that and be comfortable with? And that's really, and you divide that by the number of trades you're going to take. That's really your limit that you want to do, right? It's pretty neat, right? Great example. And again, the idea is put that amount of thought into it. My answer may not be the right answer, but it's an answer, right? So put that amount of thought into it. How much am I willing to lose per trade? What happens in my worst week? What happens if I fall asleep at the wheel and we drop a risk interval? How much is my standard trade at my standard stop loss if I lose 50 of those a week in a row, or whatever your number is a week per row? I'm like, if I lose 2 per day, I'm usually like, okay, I'm wrong today. I'm done. You know, what is your rule? And then just calculate it. Is there a way to trade my funded futures on Project X? I don't actually know that answer. I don't think so. Rocket Scooter turned you from break even to profitable. Gold digger. Awesome, brother. Thank you, Matt, for the platform discipline. Roger that. Trading is just statistics, man. It's like basic math and statistics. It's not hard to learn that portion of the game, but it's hard to apply it. It really is. Seems like I only take a trade during the first 2 hours of the day. Not usually, but usually the first 2 hours give me the best opportunities. Right now, I have one more account that I can actually work on here. And then one account I can work on here. And then one account I can work on here. Actually, I could probably work on this one too. I'm just waiting for better opportunities. I thought about grabbing this dip a second ago, but in reality, I was just waiting to see if we were going to get like, you know, strong pivots to play off of. These are kind of weaker B setups, and I'm not really too... I've done enough long trading today to make a decent amount on this. I'm not trying to overtrade. I'm waiting for... I want to get some A+ setups. And when this fell, I was actually contemplating grabbing a log if we were to bounce there, but I missed out on it. My funded futures doesn't support Project X. Okay, thank you. I thought that's what I thought. Oh, hold on. Respond to my lawyer's email here. All kind of fun stuff going on now. What is this? Video cannot be monetized today. Oh, damn, dude. So when I played War Pigs today, the girl that was covering it, I did get a can't be monetized today. Darn. Well, she can split the commission. Or Ozzy can have the commission for my ad revenue today. That's okay. Rip Ozzy. It was for a good cause. It absolutely was. Oh, hold on. Oh. Did Matt fall asleep? No, I'm texting a friend of mine right now. I was just texting my lawyer a second ago, but I'm texting a friend of mine. I got my lawyers on some assignment right now today. And then I got a friend of mine talking about a meeting between two major prop firms. This is big stuff right here. So I'm just chatting about some other stuff. I still got to run 2 companies while I stream with you guys. It's a miracle how I'm able to balance it all. Is trading lonely? Yeah, it's lonely when you're pretending to trade. Oh yeah, I'll talk about that. The Tory Blair Witch video where she's like crying in the camera, like from like the Blair Witch Project. Y'all remember that movie? Trading is so lonely. Oh, trading ain't lonely. You kidding me? I got you guys. Y'all make it fun. The old starter plus of my funded future was 6K. Now new 50K scale is 9K after profit split. So you literally get 3K more, plus you can trade up to 5 accounts. It's way better. Yeah, Renee Blue. Like, people don't read the fine print. It's incredible how... I think the people... Here's what I really think. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The people that are causing a stink are all like troll accounts that don't say anything. They're like accounts that literally only cause drama. And one can only say that part of the prop industry's tactics is that certain firms, owners will have fake accounts and they'll go out there and dog the other prop firm on a troll account and make it feel like customers are complaining. You know what I mean? Yeah, like the scale plan is absolutely better. Like, you're 100% right. Yeah. But here's the thing. If profit split, again, let me tell you, RK, again, this is the same conversation everybody has. Profit split is not profit split. They're not making any money. This is where you guys got to make sure you're clear on this. If I make $10,000 at a prop firm, do the math. If I make $10,000 at a prop firm, and a prop firm pays me out $8,000, how much did the prop firm make? Let's see if any guys can get this question right. How much did the prop firm make off of me? If I make this and I pay out this, if they take 80%, if they take 20%, how much did they make? Not you in general. They made your eval. Yeah, you guys nailed it. Brian got it. It's the cost of your eval. I didn't put it on there. They made whatever you paid them. That's it. That's all they make in the whole thing. They make the eval minus what they paid you out, right? So they made the eval and then they lost 8,000 bucks. The profit split, nobody's making anything, right? They're not taking $2,000 from you. They're just not giving you $2,000 of their money. So the idea is that, like, when people say profit split, I hate the idea that the industry term for that is profit split. Because there's no profit. You're not trading. It's payout reduction. That's really what it is. You're getting a 1099 at the end of the year, and your freaking taxes is a 1099. You made X amount of dollars on a 1099 on a contractor's salary. Here's your wages, Mr. Contractor. You get a payout reduction, right? They're not making any. You're not making anything for the firm. It's not like you made 10,000 real dollars and they took 2,000 of it. They didn't enrich themselves too. They just didn't enrich you too from their pocket. So when people are like thinking about like the extra payout portion of it, their job isn't they're not making more money, but you are talking about the live. So the live, yes, as I just saw you clarified. Yeah, the live, they're making more money. You're 100% right, buddy. So on the live, yeah, on 80/20, they're making more on the live. But what is the live, by the way? Is the live 80/20 on the new accounts? What is the live? That's the real question. You know what it used to be? You guys know what it used to be, right? $50-50 is what it used to be. It's 50-50. My live account is 50-50. Yeah. So if it's 80-20, it's vastly better. It's wild, right? Yeah. But I'm from the old system from back in the day. Yeah. That's just what it was. I mean, and again, live programs are new. If they're working towards 80-20, it's a huge improvement. Yeah. No, I'm not doing it for I'm not doing it for, look, this is not for me to care about making money in. Prop firms for me are just to show off that I'm good at this. I'm not using these accounts to like, let me make hundreds of thousands of dollars of payout. This stuff just completely fuels the business and everything else I'm working on. Yeah. And you had to pay the desk fee back in the day. Yeah, I'm from the old days. I'm an OG live trader. So the programs got substantially better. So I tell you, kids are spoiled these days. Program's really good. But for me, it's not like it's just another account I trade. It's not like it's like something that I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna make $1 million off of this thing. I have my own real trading. Anytime you see me pick up my phone, usually on stream, I'm trading my real live account. You know, prop firms and the payouts and all that, while they're just extra income, it all goes into a pool of money that invests in other shit. So place with the glass and the dog, yeah. 50-50 with 60-40 tax, but yeah, the take home's practically nothing, yeah. What's their ante? No, I can't tell you that though. But because I'm me, it's much bigger than usual. This is kind of neat to be me in some of these places because I have some negotiating power. I can tell them what I want. And for me, I wouldn't trade an account if it wasn't worth my time. So, you know, if it was 50-50 with 5K account, I'd you know, tell them to go to hell. It's certainly worth my time. That's all I can tell you guys. ETF is the same way. The account's worth my time, even at 50-50. So it means it's big enough. Yeah. So like as far as details go, I can't tell you, but let's just pretend that I have a really big account. Let me tell you, I have a really big account. So let's just start there. Probably bigger than anybody ever has gotten. Okay, so that's kind of why I tell you that. But now it's more standardized for prop firms to go to like live accounts and stuff. So now they're doing like 90-10 and 80-20 and stuff like that. It's kind of more of the standard. Remember, RK, it's when you're evaluated to go live, there's always negotiation you can have. Just keep that in mind. So remember, I don't have to follow the rules of the prop firms. If a prop firm can choose to invest in any trader they want, that means I'm one of the best day traders out there. Most of you guys get a live account as a prize. A lot of these firms want to trade with me because I make them a lot of money. So just keep it that way, right? There's non-standard accounts you can get. If you're known with a proven success rate, which I had. I can just say, hey, this is how much I make, check it out. And they're like, yeah, let's come up with an offer. Why not put my sim earnings into a personal brokerage? Sim trading is more like to support the community and Rocket Scooter more than anything. The sim earnings, like, oh, let's see what I pulled in July so far. Let me log in and see. Like for me, you know, I run the marketplace called Rocket Place, and I also have my own most of my stuff that I make in prop just goes to like buy you guys accounts for giveaways and essentially keep supporting the business and the growth. Yeah, you can put in your own account to trade. That's what really most people will do. I've made $26,384 in July so far in payouts. Recently joined, Vin. Oh, cool, bud. When did I start streaming? Why did I start streaming? I think a long time ago, nobody was really streaming futures. It's a very kind of like small subset of traders. And so whenever I was sort of getting started, I had a community of people. We all came out of Reddit. So our original start was in Reddit. I used to be a moderator at a subreddit called Wall Street Bets 10 years ago. And I met some people while moderating there. And at the time, we started our own little community. And our community was like a little geek club of like mathematician and engineer traders. And me and two of my buddies there, we're all three of us are engineers. We started a little community. And then on the community, the idea was we were essentially, I was like, we were talking about all these, like the risk interval, one of the things that we talk about here all the time. At the time, I was like pioneering that concept and sharing it with these guys. And we were all kind of like finding ways to use it and kind of made a little like mathematical geek club of traders that we could sit together and like come up with new cool concepts. And the idea was that, well, I would just trade with them live and experiment live. And I was like, well, how about people watch me trade? We got this idea. Let me go in and kind of like, you know, stress test it live, you know, pilot it live and guinea pig it in front of people. And you guys give me feedback watching me trade. I mean, trading streamers wasn't really a big thing at the time. And so we would get together on Zoom and just talk trading and talk about these techniques. And I would be like putting together spreadsheets and writing code on stream and stuff. And then it slowly evolved from Zoom until YouTube. And then when it started in YouTube, the audience just started growing at the time because it was a new thing to like live stream trading. And I would like make real trades on the stream and do work and build my tools on the stream and talk about it and kind of explore the concepts of the community. And it just kind of like blossomed out of that. I trade props for you guys basically. Yeah, and you know, also it is kind of fun to show off to say I got live with the prop. It's hard to do. Some of these props is very hard to get, and the fact that you can go live is a trophy, at least in the trading world, because it's really hard to trade props to begin with, and the take home's not that big after taxes and all the fees and stuff and the split. So you know, prop income isn't like something I've ever relied on is like the majority of like my source of income, you know. You know, what is it? $26,000 in prop for July so far. That's just in my Rise account. That's what I'm looking for. Same time next year, I mean, I'll be pulling in like $1 million a month in revenue. So it's like, I really go out there and buy accounts to give away with the money, a lot of it. I mean, our revenue's growing through there. I mean, I run 2 major corporations, so you make a pretty bad stack off of my businesses. And of course, I trade my real account more than anything. And that I do make a pretty substantial return on my personal account. I have an options account and futures account I trade. And props, yeah. Once I started trading props, the stream just got like super high levels of traffic because that's where all the traders really are these days. Not everybody has the capital to bankroll themselves. And props are great to like to get started, you know? So I do have 17 streams of income now, so it's crazy. And then when I open up the boba shop in the pickleball court, that'll be 19. And we've been talking about investing in properties and stuff, and IDOC and I have been chit-chatting about a lot of ideas. She wants to open some businesses too. Never met a trader that makes more money with trading than their other businesses. Well, that should actually cue you in, dispel you from the idea that there are cajillionaire day traders out there. Day trading is a significant source of income, but no smart day trader is making all their money day trading. That's like the dumbest, riskiest way to make money. That's what rich people do. That's not what wealthy people do. Rich people make a couple $1,000,000 a year day trading, whatever. That's chump change money. Wealthy people will be making many, many, many times that, investing their money in things that generate wealth with lower risk. Day trading is extremely risky. I mean, the idea is that you're going to go out there and risk millions of dollars and lose it all. It's a fairy tale taught by trading gurus that you're going to become a multi-millionaire being a day trader. If you guys are pulling in 6 figures a year day trading, you're doing very well. I mean, you're making a salary. But I know very few people out there bankrolling their own capital making $10 million a year day trading. I mean, it's because you don't risk that much. You could, I could, but I'd have to risk a whole lot to get there. And the last thing I want to do is risk $10 million trying to make $10 million. You know what I mean? So, you know, a trader sets their own salary, what they're comfortable with. And for me, it's like a portion of my money is play money. Let me grow, you know, on the magnitude of 7 figures a year. Do I want to go to 8 or can I want to go bigger? Do I want to push it all? I don't want to lose that much money on fucking Trump tweets and stuff. There's like a level where you can choose to be at and kind of keep yourself comfortable. I love trading. I'm good at it. I'm comfortable making 5 to 10 grand a day in my personal account. That's a healthy salary. Imagine you take, you know, 10 grand a day, you know, you're making 7 figures. If you can sustain that pretty well, just depends, you know? And so most day traders are not out there just milking the stock market of money and living it. Like they're taking the money they make and then generating parallel wealth with it. That's really the way to be wealthy. Day trading is a linear process. You're basically what you put in, there's a risk you get out. You can't scale that parallel like you can franchising something or taking your money to build something that makes money when you don't even have to touch it. Imagine taking your money and building something that generates a 10% return every year that you don't have to touch. Almost zero risk, right? Negligible risk. And imagine that thing makes enough that you can open up another one and another one, and another one, and therefore you scaled parallel. Then you're just making tens of millions of dollars doing nothing rather than putting it all in the stock market. So the reason you haven't met traders that make more money trading than their businesses, because there's only a small place where that's actually possible. Most traders will make a little bit of money until they're a certain amount of rich. And then once you're a certain amount of rich, the amount that you grow is immediately surpassed by the other businesses you invest in, other things you invest in, than your trading. Trading will get you rich, but businesses will get you wealthy, or investments will get you wealthy. Keep that in mind, because most traders who make a lot of money trading somehow scale that into an empire that makes even more. I have a buddy of mine, the guy I always talk about, he trades options, the one that owns a tank, the one that also owns, I don't know, 20 ER clinics, and he owns a work share company where they all get together, or say a workplace, kind of like a WeWork sort of thing. He bought a tank for fun. He's got a garage full of cars and jets. Now he has a tank. Like, yeah, he'll make $1 million options trades here and there for fun. He's a very well-known options trader, but the guy makes mountains of money from everything else. And the reason why he's not making all of it from trading is because it's not smart to do that. The risk is so high. Is this making sense to anybody? At some point, if trading gets you rich, it doesn't get you wealthy. Your richness needs to spread out and diversify. Anybody will tell you that when they have wealthy money, right? So you're not going to meet a lot of people like, yeah, I made $50 million last year day trading. That's so stupid. You're risking $50 million to day trade. You'll get a lot of traders that'll say, yeah, I made like $1 million last year, a couple million last year. And that's pretty normal. You're at the rich level where you can do that. If you're scaling any more than that, you're being done with millions of dollars. I mean, you can actually make a whole lot more putting millions of dollars many places elsewhere, right? So you're not going to meet a lot of wealthy day traders. You'll meet a lot of rich day traders for sure. Once you get to that level where you're at, you can start to choose what you want to do. Hopefully that's good advice for some people to think about. So that's why you don't meet a lot of like people that make people. Once you start making money trading, you get smart with your money and you're like, oh, well, pickleball court. We don't know where we're going to put it yet. We're still it's still in the air. Last time her, like IDOC, we were like talking about it, and even her family was all like, we want to get in on this too. So it might be a family thing. So we're all like, okay, let's pitch in on it. It's pretty expensive to buy a pickleball court or to build one. I didn't realize how expensive it is to lay out the concrete for the court. It's very expensive. It's almost like $500,000 to $1 million investment just for the facility alone. It's not like, oh, let's just get a place to pour some concrete. You gotta get like regulation level stuff, and it's got to be even. It's got to be the right. I mean, it's like a very expensive thing. So I'm like looking for a place. Can we buy one that somebody's trying to sell and then revamp it? That's where we are right now. Pickleball is huge in Vietnam. Yeah. So like, you know, the Vietnamese community down here, it's what everybody always does. You know, IDOC's Vietnamese and her family Vietnamese. They're like, we should get in on this. It's such a huge fad. So we have fun. And then our nieces and nephews would be the ones that run it because they're all college age, and just kind of let them sit there and do their homework and make sure the place doesn't burn down. Well, we're looking to see like where some of the things are. Like our thought is, should we build it from scratch, or should we buy like a distressed one and then rebrand it and build it up? My thought was, let me buy a distressed one. That way we can get it for the cheap and then revamp it and then market it to get some popularity. But then their argument was, well, if it's not making money, well, why not? Is it a bad location? And so both sides are right. The question is, maybe somebody came into financial troubles, but it's a good location. And so we're kind of being strategic about, maybe we'll do it. Drew Brees is open one in Cyprus. Dude, they're so crazy, right? Yeah. Yeah. The risk pyramid. Yeah, you guys nailed it. Did I catch some of these longs? Yeah, I traded longs all day today, and I'm still kind of done because this is out of bounds for me. They can't build them fast enough around there. Dude, it's like the craziest thing. And I don't think it's going to go away that quick. I think it's going to be like a very popular thing for a while. But even so, right? I mean, it's a sports facility and there's not a lot of overhead on it. And problem is most of your money is invested in the concrete on the ground. It's like if you were to buy a restaurant and your restaurant goes over, you can sell your ovens, you can sell your dishes, you can sell your computers, you can sell all that to another restaurateur. If you have a pickleball court, you can't just say, yeah, you come in and buy this $500,000 worth of concrete, come over and take it with you, right? It's like there in the ground. So once you invest, you're kind of like locked into it. It's like building a building. You got to get somebody to buy the building from you if you bow out of that business. It's how you run the facility that makes it fail. I think that's what we think. Hey, what's up, iDoc? Aren't you supposed to be working right now? Taking a break to hang out with me. You miss me that much? Oh, stop. But yeah. But yeah, so like, here's the thing, like as my trading journey was going, you know, I was trading and making money and streaming and making money, and then started a business and that was making some money, educational business. And then as I've been making money, then I take all that money and then I built Rocket Scooter, right? And then Rocket Scooter is a company. Now it's a business, and now I'm trading with my other business, and then Rocket Scooter is making money. And then I take that money and I build a marketplace. Now the marketplace is like making money, right? And it's like, that's what I did with my money. So it's like trading, build, invest, build, invest. And the things that you invest in, dude, like my businesses are all doing this. Like, it's crazy. And as you guys are aspiring, I like to teach people to think of like day trading, even if you're good at it, is always a cash cow. If I ever go bankrupt and lose everything, I'll borrow 10 grand from my mom and rebuild my wealth. That's great. I've got a backup plan for complete failure in life. You know, but it's like, it shouldn't be your end all be all. It should be another source of income. It's a huge time sink. It's a lot of risk, and you can't scale it infinitely. You can't go out there and be making like, you know, 500 contract trades and stuff. You can only trade so big to where you start affecting the market that you're in. You can't really sneak in and out that easily anymore. So because of that, it should be something you do, but it can never be the only thing that you do. It's always smart to branch out. And then now, the funny thing is now I can day trade at the same intensity, but now I got other businesses that are at the same time next year will be dropping me $1 million a month plus, right? So without doing anything, and that's the best part, without risking anything. And I employ people and I provide their salaries and their livelihood. And like, think about that, right? And your goal is to, in general, if you're like me, your goal is to build wealth that'll last. I'm making money just by sitting on my ass, you know, like without doing much. Other people are doing the work. And that's kind of where you want to think about when it comes to stuff. Now, a lot of you guys haven't met traders that are even rich either, because a lot of the YouTubers and gurus out there either pretend rich or paper trade rich, or they sell Discord services and all that, and they make a couple hundred G a year selling a Discord service or whatever, and they don't make a lot trading. There's a lot of that too. There's a lot of people that aren't even rich trading. They're like faking it. And so there's only a tiny little sweet spot where somebody's making like a couple mil a year trading and not enough to invest in anything bigger, but certainly more than enough to make more than they made at their salary. So every once in a while you meet somebody that's like, that's all I do is I day trade, and they got like a modest house, like $1 million house and a nice car, and then they live a good life. And that's pretty normal. But if you're making 3, 4, 5 million a year trading and you're not parallel investing it, you're robbing yourself of becoming a billionaire. You're absolutely stupid by just risking all of it in day trading. I can give you 10 business ideas right now on how to turn 5 mil into 100 mil over a 10-year process. Like, it's completely easy to scale wealth, because a lot of things just make very good returns at very low risk this day and age. So you should be meeting people that not their only source of income is just trading. Good traders will be good business people. It's part of being a good trader. You're a good businessman, and you're going to see an opportunity and risk and reward in everything you do. And time is a very important investment. Not really getting billionaire, but aspiring to be a billionaire. Yeah. Maybe it'd be very hard to grow to a billionaire unless somebody bought one of your companies and it was a tech company. But the mindset should be, why stop at $1 million? Can I scale to $1 billion? You know what I mean? Whatever it is you're doing. Give you guys the business ideas. Well, I gotta like keep a lot of that to myself, but I'm saying is in general, right? Scaling, and a lot of it is aggressive scaling, and you need a funding source. It's not just like, let me plant 5 million and then all of a sudden I'm making money. You can get very aggressive with some things and really scale pretty quickly, depending on the funding sources you have. Yeah. For those of us not near Houston, wink, wink, LOL. You guys want to corner us? There's a lot of really, really good scalable business ideas out there that are pretty common, that are necessary. I mean, you can go start, you can corner a contracting enterprise. Like you can, I'm just gonna make up an example, like concrete. So you got a concrete paving business, and I'm talking about pickleball court already. Pickleball courts are very popular. So you're pouring a lot of concrete. What if you were a specialist in pickleball concrete, and then you cornered the market and you franchised your concrete pouring business all around the world in the middle of this fad? You could scale that crazy amount, right? Just an idea, just give me an idea. That's not the idea, but the idea is recognizing an opportunity like that. It's the part of the bigger picture. Imagine you're just running contracting teams here and there and selling $500,000 pads of concrete to people, marking it up thousands of %. And then you just open up contracting shops and get workers in every major city. that has a strong Vietnamese population. All of a sudden, your concrete business is just millions on top of millions on top of millions a year, and then you're scaling this way, right? So when you're a businessman, think like that, right? And that's kind of what you can come up with clever ideas, is like what's needed and what's popular and what's trendy. Clearly, that's a saturated business. You're not going to be like the first person that thought of that, but the person that did thought about that is probably extremely wealthy. And then you standardize your process, and you get your costs down. Therefore, you monopolize the business, and everybody goes to you, and then you're good. You train all your employees. Yeah, and somebody says, and Steve is like, I run a concrete company. You don't want to do that, right? And so the idea was just like, the example is like to think outside the box of something like that. That's not really the business idea, but I was just kind of like citing the same example. I didn't know you ran a concrete company, Steve. How is that, by the way? How is that business? Is your overhead pretty good or pretty high? Is it the margins good? I know nothing about the concrete business, by the way. I just know how much these guys are trying to charge me. Pickleball crap. Construction, where it's at. Construction's great, yeah. You own an $8 million concrete business for the GFC ticket from you. You might want to think twice about concrete, LOL. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely, that was just an example. But the idea would be recognize an opportunity and then seize it, right? That is necessary, that's popular, or that's trending, or that's something you want to get in on. Commercial real estate, one of the easiest, quickest ways to scale a lot of money very quick. And when you have real estate, you can leverage your existing properties to get loans to build more and stuff like that. That's always a good idea, but that takes a lot of money sometimes. A lot of rain this year. Oh, because you can't pour concrete in the rain. I didn't even think about that. Laundromats are your jam. Cashless laundromats are a huge cash cow business. We actually looked into those too. It's great, right? Cashless, so nobody can steal from you or rob you, and you very much need almost no employees. Very quick and necessary business in major cities. Oh yeah. All you know about the concrete business is it's hard. Oh, LOL. Yeah, so some of the stock market here is still going up. It is kind of sitting still, and we do have earnings today, right? Major earnings. So I'm kind of like, I'm very hesitant to kind of take any big risk here, and the market is kind of trickling up higher, which is good. It's good to see the market continuing to move. Nothing that I'm doing is betting anything bearish right now. I'm still kind of staying on the bull side. I do think with earnings, we might move kind of in a more violent direction. Laundromat with a bar. Oh, what a cool idea. I think IDOC's spin on laundromat was she wanted to put a bar in there. She was talking about it. Let me see. Vending machines? Yeah, I know people have done the vending machine thing. That's very profitable. Yeah, definitely. You specialize in lake houses, Steve, with your business? Oh, that's totally cool, man. Do you have coupon code for Pro Plus? Yeah, Trim Trader. It's actually built into the website. So The way our website works is that we basically just give a standard deal, and then when the deal is active, just go to the website and buy it straight up. It automatically applies the code at checkout, so you don't have to even type in the code for Pro Plus. It's $40 off the monthly fee for life and locks it in. Bam, 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 bam. Suds and suds. What a cool idea, right? Laundromat. I love it. These are some cool names for it. For suds and buds, like for Budweiser. Well, actually, I guess you can't really. Is it still cool to hate on Budweiser? I never actually drink their beer anyways. It tastes like shit. Open a massage clinic. Discount for traders. You'll be wealthy with no time. Charge $69 extra for happy endings. That'd be a great business while it lasted. You get busted pretty quick, I'm sure. When is the earnings release? Slightly after market. So they usually stagger the announcements, but usually within minutes of market opening up until the hour after market closes. I mean, sorry, minutes to hour after. They usually stagger them. Some of them come in late, like sometimes 20, 30 minutes after. It just depends. But usually these days, especially today, you should see, I think Google and Tesla both are in the first 10 minutes or less. The VIX going this low, has it signal market topping? No, with the VIX going lower, it actually signals that the market is comfortably liquid here. That's what we want to see. But earnings are really going to shape the game, and I'm not really convinced that earnings are going to be super bullish. We'll have to see kind of what happens after earnings comes out. Mary, what's up? What's up? Gentlemen's clubs are great. Oh yeah, I recently became acquainted with the guy that the CEO of Rick's. You know, they own all the Bombshells and Rick's Cabaret. It's like a gentleman's sort of business enterprise. He's a cool dude. I'm sure they make a killing. I see Bombshells popping up everywhere now. I transpose QQQ close and Q chart. So Genic, great question. So what you'll do is you cross multiply between the two. You'll take your pivot, like example is you'll take your QQQ value. I'll just pick Q value, which you want to convert to NQ value, right? This is your solving for NQ value. And everything else you have. So what you're doing is you do a fraction. The Q value is to NASDAQ value as Q price is to NASDAQ price. So you take the actual ticking live prices and you make a fraction off of the real-time data. And this is equal to some fraction. And this fraction updates every time the price updates. And then you just solve for what's in the box. So the fraction divided by this QV will get you your answer. You're just basically cross multiplying. A is to B as C is to D sort of thing. And then you solve for the missing piece. And it's a pretty simple formula from that point. Am I expecting a dump after close? It's kind of a crapshoot when it comes to earnings. I don't know what I'm going to expect, but the idea that NASDAQ is moving quickly right now and that S&P was moving much quicker is that I don't know what to expect. And earnings may be just like a blast off today. I mean, VIX is actually kind of dropping pretty quick. So I don't think there is any surprise on what we might see. So I don't think earnings are going to be a shocker is what I'm saying. I think any downside or upside will be severely limited. But again, anything can happen. If I were to take a bet, I would say that I think that earnings might be a mixed bag and any downside won't break like levels like this and any upside will kind of stay contained, I would think. Oh, you can just solve for the giveaway. Oh, speaking of that, you want to do giveaway? Did we already do giveaway or no? Have we done it yet? I can't remember. Have we done it? No, we haven't. Oh yeah. No, today I think is I don't know, I have to ask Slacks. We do so many giveaways now. We have to hire people to help us with it. So all I know is they got to tell me what I'm giving away. I think today it's scale, but I'm not sure. You'll win something. I know it's really bad because I don't remember. But you'll win something today. Where do I check earnings? I use Zach's earnings website. It's ZACKS.com. Zach's is a great website. So just search Zach's earnings. All right, guys. All right, guys. Giveaway. We're doing 2 something accounts. Let me see if I can look up where they are. I'm trying to figure it out. They are... Oh, they're pro accounts today. Oh, okay. Well, looky there. They're pro accounts today. We split them up. Thank you for letting me know that. Wow. Pro accounts. Wow. Pro, let's go. 2 of those. And tomorrow we'll give away 5 more scale and 2 more pro as well tomorrow. So, you know, do that. All right. If I do make a trade, I'm going to make it on this account. This one that is minus $43. Put some money in that one. Okay. All right. 2 pro accounts. Let's go. Don't forget the like button, you guys. Let's get those likes to 400 very quick before we go pro. Hey, bro, it's time to go pro. Hey, bro, you ready to go pro? We have a few more songs to try out. Ooh, I just got dizzy. I turned my head really fast and the room spun for a second. What the heck? Oh, it's like mini vertigo there. Okay. Wait, there's a couple more P&L songs. Wait. All right, you guys. Y'all ready for it? Are y'all ready for it? Are you ready for it? Hold on.
Show me your P&L, whip it out. Show your P&L, yeah, whip it out. Let's see the P&L, whip it out. Whip it out. Look at the curve.
Dude, I had like a vertigo spell last night. I got like dizzy when I stood up really quick too. Maybe I should stop like flailing about so much. 2 pro accounts. Giveaways with my fun and future. Slightly fatter Matt over here dancing around the disco ball. Spinning them jams. He definitely needs glasses. Oh, yeah. I like this beat, though, man. This is kind of nice. I definitely need more salt. All right, winner number 1. Getting dizzy looking at the chat box. I'm telling you, man, maybe because I put on all this weight, the slightly fatter Matt is just dizzy from his sugar and salt intake.
Show me your P and L, whip it out. Show your P and L, yeah, whip it out. Let's see the P and L, whip it out. Whip it out. Look at the curve.
Ooh. Vertigo runs in the family, so I got it really bad for the first time ever when I had COVID one time. Like my ears were clogged and whatever, and then for like a couple months and it went away. Like I would get the thing where like the room would start spinning really quick and I had to kind of like readjust. Vertigo is crazy, dude. It makes you go, it's just nuts if you ever experience it. Congratulations, Frenzy. Congrats, man. Winner number 1. This is a pretty chill jam. Eric L _ Show me your P and L. Is this song very sexual in nature? Oh, I mean, that's the whole point of the gag. Eric L, type something in chat, buddy. Mike want another one too. That's funny. All right, Eric and Frenzy. You guys take a screenshot of your YouTube ID inside your account that we know it's you. Go into our Discord, send a message to our admin Slacks in the contest channel. We'll hook you up with your accounts. You guys got about an hour to hit them up. Whip it out. Congrats, you two. You guys get My Fun and Futures pro accounts. I don't know what level. Maybe 50K or something. Let me look. Hold on. 50K pros. Oh, congrats. Yeah, we have a whole system and team now doing the giveaways. It got such a big deal. We have to actually have people helping me do it. Now we don't fuck it up anymore. We can keep track, and now it's nice and clean and fast. We standardize the process. Used to, it'd just be like so crazy. Now we have a standard giveaway process. We do so many. Congrats, you guys. So now we don't have like a delay to getting you guys your accounts and all that. Used to, it'd be like there'd be like a 1 or 2 day turnover just so I can catch up and verify everybody, and then it's just nuts. Now it's like super quick. So yeah, we do so much. We standardize the damn process. A P&L curves to the left. That's okay. You know, sometimes it's the way God made you. 50 Shades of Arby's. Y'all have some pretty good song. We got a Whoosh fan song. Somebody already jumped on it.
What's in the middle, babe? That's the meats.
Dude, I tell you, we have the best stream music ever. This
Sizzling flame, curtains looking moist, know its name. Resilience dropping, risky game. Dip my long in bottom, no shame. Tedious fat as the meats across. Volumes unstable, take the loss. Or ride those curtains where hedge lines cross. Arby's with cheese, don't make me sauce.
Arby's with cheese, don't make me sauce. Oh, that's great.
Top bottom, I'm feeling naughty. Beef so good, it wets my body. Macarons wait, but I said no. That sandwich got me ready to go.
Meat curtains? Yeah, I heard meat curtains a couple times.
I've got the meat sweats, can't stop
Yo, that's great. That's great. That's Gabriel's song. LOL. Slipped the cheddar wrapped in beef. Yeah, this is called 50 Shades of Arby's. That's what he named this song. It's good, man. That's a good song. That's funny, bud.
Pickle chewing up again. Matt's glasses are done, my friend.
Did you write this today? You did. You just did this. Because that happened last night. Oh, even that's like, dude, the stream is so meta and self-referencing in its inside jokes. We get live updates of my life in musical form. Oh my God, that's hilarious. We have live narration of like my daily events. The next song's gonna be like, Matt takes a bite of his Eggo waffle. Ooh, he just took another bite. Ooh, Matt is listening to this song right now. It's like so meta. It's like predicting the future. When's the song contest in? Probably by the end of August. What month is this? Or probably sometime in August we'll start like telling people, all right, get your submissions in. You got a couple weeks until we start doing it. The Tupac skit song. Oh, yeah. The one where it was like, yo, I'm Tupac Shakur. He was like referencing like modern things. Like, yo, Tupac Shakur, 9/11 was an inside job. And you're like, wait, what? 9/11? That's like, he was like, his new album came out, you know, from the grave, and it was all modern references. Yeah. I wrote this song. Yeah, I was like, I wrote this song a long time ago, a real long time ago. It's like, I wrote this song a long time ago, a real long time ago, way before Slim Shady was in demand, way before we dropped Bologna on Afghanistan. I wrote this song in '94, a real long time ago. Kanye's new album? I didn't know he had a new album. I haven't listened to it. That's a pretty cool song. I like that one.
No tweets, no CPI, just a breeze and trades that fly. Traders chant like a sacred clan. Spin it up, a whoosh
I wrote the song a long time ago. It was the dopest song I ever wrote in '94. Is this Nickelback? It's It kind of reminds me of a band. What the name of the band is? It reminds me of It reminds me of this band. I don't know if you guys have heard this. It kind of reminds me of hold on. That's a good song. Oh, I can't remember the name of the band. There's a song. It reminds me of there's a song. I can't remember the name of it. I can hear the beat in my head though. Bow, bow. Sammy Hagar. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good song. It is a Sammy Hagar kind of sound to it. Oh, it sounds like this. Hold on, this song. I don't know if you guys heard it before. It's called Learn to Live Again. I just remembered it now. It has like this kind of it kind of sounded like that a little bit. Same kind of band. Kind of Sammy Hagar vibe to it. Yeah. Matt's daily giveaway jam. Oh, Fraser wrote one yesterday. Oh God, there's so many different new ones you're gonna say. Aussie Scooter. Let's go. We got Aussie songs going on here. I wonder how we close out the day today. Nice and tiny little long setups here. Dio. Oh, yeah. God, I'm like, what do I want to do? I hate like trying to fade a bull market though. It's a little choppy into close here. We got about 50 minutes till market closes. We got a strong close, I think. I think we'll be strong in the close today. That's just how I think. I kind of want to make a trade on this $43 account, though. I need to put something on it. It's so close to payout. I gotta get something out of it. The map, the mat, and the madness. That's cool. Man, these are some cool songs, you guys. This is Austin. Very cool, bud. I like it. It's another one of like the Blind Monkey level songs where it's gonna make it's like market ride song. Any promo codes or Rocket Place? Jacob, no, it's built into the site. So the code is, when you check out, the code applies automatically. So you don't have to actually go out there and put in a code. It automatically adds when you check out. So the funded next sale, the one from yesterday, is actually over yesterday. Just letting you guys know. My funded futures, our code gives you 15% off now. Sometime like this week or next week, they're gonna give us 25. They already leaked that to me, so I'm leaking that to y'all. So they're like giving it out in like tiers. So like Pat got 25% first, I'll get it second. Scooter of Doom, I love it. So other than that, I think TBT is still 40% off, TradFi is still 30, and we're seeing in pretty decent deals across the board. Funded Next is now 10% off permanently when they don't have a sale, which is still pretty darn good. I like it. I like it. Okay, Fraser had one called Matt's Daily Giveaway.
Yo, it's Matt on the mic, yeah, he's back on the screen. We're giveaways daily and his future shark clean. Got trades so mean, they put YouTube to shame. If you're not on Rocket Scooter, you're losing the game. He's dropping free stuff like
free stuff.
Turning bull zone signals into homes with gold thrones. Every single time trade, you know
that's cool.
While the gurus guess wrong, Matt's already rocked. Resilient strong, fix above triple B. He's hedged like a boss, got that risk in the key.
All right.
Hope your math's on track. If it ain't free money, he ain't calling back. Got the sauce, got the chip bag crunch, spicy dill pickle.
The chick bag crunch. You're here very confused. Is this a trading channel or a music channel? There's music. There's a trading channel, yeah, but I'm just not making a trade right now. I'm up $7,000 this is today. I'm looking, but while we're chilling, you know, you can't just sit here in dead air. That's kind of boring. So I trade throughout the day. I'm streaming all day live, so when there's not a trade, we usually just talk. And right now, people write. We're having a songwriting contest, a trading, a Rocket Scooter themed, whatever theme songwriting contest. So people are writing songs with AI to do a contest. So you want to participate, you're definitely welcome to do so. We're giving away free lifetime memberships if you win. You say Wicked Smart, Boston, awesome from Boston. If our target is 6,000, we accomplish this, does that mean you're eligible for payout? Or have to make a new money pass that account? It depends on what account you're in Lionheart. So if you're in a prop account, where that is your profit target and it's straight to funded, then you passed, right? Once you get your profit target consistent, you're fine. But if it's an eval side, usually you start over and you have to make additional profit once you pass. So it depends on if you're in the eval or paid side right now. You have to let me know that. Yeah, you know, why does Pat get it first? I don't know. Probably just popularity. As a business, you roll out, you know, stuff to like your most popular people first, I guess.
He's setting the tone, just don't call him up unless you got that 0% loan. So subscribe, like, comment, don't delay. You never know what he's giving away. It's Matt, and he trades chips, pickle.
That's a cool song. Cool. What was this one? Oh, the free shit song. Time to get some free shit. Cool. All right, so now going into the close, what I'm waiting to see is just kind of just to see where we end up. I'm looking at EP right now. So let me go on the NASDAQ. You know, the upper DD band is one of the things we talk about as upper target. Now today, I don't think we're going to rally further. We do have Google earnings, and Google has been supporting cleanly at one of its very strong bull pivots. Bull zone and MHP lining up at the same time. It's bullish on Google. So that being said, from here doesn't mean Google can't find some selling pressure because of earnings. Tesla, again, nice and stable in a bull position, but it doesn't mean earnings can't move the market one way or the other. So just be cautious trading into close. The earnings could probably move this market around very rapidly and violently. You got to make Matt more popular than Pat? Well, that's kind of y'all. Can I tell you, our daily views were half as big. There was a time when Pat was, 10 times bigger. About a year ago. No, 100 times bigger. I'm sorry, 100 times bigger. I didn't do the math right. Like, we'd get like 250 views per stream when you get like 25,000. Now we get about 12,000 per day. It's crazy. Like our channel just got bigger than Tracer. We got bigger than Rips. We got bigger than a lot of my friends that have been streaming for a while. So I'm like, very honored that you guys help build this community. Can you chart while we're expecting buying and support at SPY open? Right. So today there is no trade. That's the thing. Like this is a point in time where there is no trade. The market's closing in about 40 minutes. In 40 minutes, there's earnings. The really only trade possibility that there is support off of here and off of here. Right. This was the long support trade inside of here. Earnings at Bell is going to be a crapshoot. The earnings can take the market very rapidly in one direction or the other. So inside of here, the question is, in the last 40 minutes, could I get a trade to bet on something? And the answer is, I've pretty much squeezed out all the long juice of this limit. I bought the dip all day long and made those trades. And so I don't think there's much to take from here. But the only appropriate pivot to trade off of is to bet that we hold the open. That's basically it. These white lines over here above 0 will also support the idea that we're holding the open. But that's it. Yeah, if you guys stick around, I'll always detail my trade plans. Right now, I'm waiting for it to happen if I could do anything. But, you know, this is a huge community, so you guys come in and we're like listening to music or singing songs. We always do stuff to keep the airspace full of something cool. Not always is there going to be a trade or something to talk about. Not always will there be anything. This close to the end of the day, there's a lot of times there's trades I can't take, but there's really nothing other than just straight gambling from here. Market's consolidating high and earnings is going to be like one way or the other. What is Pat's trading strategy? I don't really know. He does like momentum style trading, breakout plays. Use like chart patterns, flags and stuff, pennants, bull and bear flags. Yep, that's right. Green or red, I think by the end of the day, it should sell off and pull back to mean. I don't think we're going to close high because of earnings. I think we'll pull back somewhere in the middle. I would even say 261 on NASDAQ would be probably appropriate just to be close to into. So Lionheart, your question from earlier, right? That I tried to answer it for you. So you're doing TPT. Are you funded yet, or are you still? Oh, you're in the TPT 100 account. Okay, so you're in the TPT 100K account. So you haven't. This is your first time passing, right? So as soon as you pass TPT, Lionheart, the answer is once you pass, you have to go. You get upgraded to a funded account, and then you have to make more money on top of it. Usually, how that works. So you're in the eval side. The eval is like you pass the test first, and then after you pass the test, then you move to a live account, and then from there, yeah. My funded futures code 25 yet? Nope, not yet. It's still 15. A little downside move here. Yeah, Lionheart. Yeah, glad to help, buddy. And good luck on your TPT account. Let us know how it goes. It's always exciting. You made your first, you got your first profit target, which is amazing. You got your consistency, like everything is all lined up, right? So you passed it. Yeah. I don't think you don't get a payout from the eval you pass, not with TPT. As far as I know, the code for Rocket Scooter for my funded futures, they just they told me the other day it'd be coming sometime this week probably, so I'll let you guys know. So normally what happens, Lionheart, is like when you trade the eval account, you'll usually like trade to a certain level, and then as soon as you pass all the parameters, then they'll upgrade you to the next one. I think it's called like Pro or something with TPT. Then they upgrade you to the next one, and then you start all over, and then you're making payouts the second round. Eval is short for evaluation. So most firms, unless the particular program is called straight to funded, which is usually like Tradeify or ETF will have some straight to funded. Most of the firms will have what's called the eval stage and then funded. So the way that it goes is that you have to pass your eval, and then as soon as you pass, then they put you into a funded account, and then you're getting payouts on the funded account. So for the most part, unless it's a straight to funded, it's usually round 2 where you get your payouts from. Do I think we're dropping from here? I don't think we're not dropping from here, but I think the market's likely to continue to go higher at some point because earnings I think are going to be good. But it's a gamble, and earnings can go either way, so I don't want to make a judgment call. I think that right now the market's kind of positioning for earnings. Do I think we're going to sell off in the close? I don't think we're going to drop really hard in the close because we've been consolidating here. Unless somebody knows something I don't know about Google or Tesla. Nasdaq's going to be very responsive today to one of those two earnings reports. As you see right now, every little dip is being bought up. The volatility's kind of gone away. So I don't think we're going to fall into the close. I think at best we might stay right there. The more that I'm watching it. What's the plan to scale fund and X accounts into DLL? Trade them one at a time, right? Essentially, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm waiting for just bear zone, bull zone kind of trades like I did this morning. And hitting them one at a time just in case one of them goes bust or whatever. And that's basically it. Strong pivots only to build a buffer. Liquidity pockets all day long to build the buffer. And it's going to build and then basically just trade them up and scale them that way. You can trade up to 5 contracts in those fund and X accounts. I'm never going to need 5. Like maybe 1 NASDAQ right out the door usually. 2 if I'm extremely confident, mostly 1 because I don't want to bust them. My first trades are essentially 1 contract scalps on high volume pivots, 90%ers. What are you spamming my chat? But you lost big with not seeing CMBM trade strategy. What the fudge are you even talking about? That doesn't even make any sense. If you're trying to market or advertise something, you didn't even tell me where to go. Is this to Google something? Come on. It's like, aren't you supposed to be like better at that? Like somebody paying a marketer to say whatever that is. Like, what am I supposed to do? Go Google something? All right, let me Google it and see what it is. All right, let's go. What the hell is this? I don't even know what I'm looking at. I don't even know. Is this a product I'm supposed to buy? Is this a stock I'm supposed to buy? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm so confused. Oh, I'm so confused. I can't tell if that's a penny stock or is that like a guru room? Is this a Discord I can join? Like, what's going on here? Go see and learn. I can't. I don't know where to go see and where to go learn. What am I supposed to learn? Is this a streamer? Is it Discord? Is this a business loan? Am I going to get scammed into a high interest rate business loan? Are you from Brooklyn? From the mean machine from Brooklyn? The guy, what was the guy who was like, I'm from Brooklyn, New York? We're like, yeah. Certainly. Certainly, sir. I hear you. Repping the 952. Oh, yeah. That's what it was. Somebody needs to write a song about that. Now the songwriting stuff. The answer the business loan call. The guy is like, I'd like to speak with the business owner. And I was like, hey, where are you located? You know. And he's telling me, he's like, he goes, I live in Brooklyn, New York. I was like, oh, What street? 952? He's from the 952 in Brooklyn. Oh my gosh. Maybe he was like sending like a top secret code to short the market or something. Who knows? Yeah, the lean, mean Brooklyn machine. Anybody here from Street 952 in Brooklyn? I think I told the guy, I was like, yeah, Brooklyn has great pizza. All right, I'll see you later. Brooklyn. Ooh, a little sell-off in the selling to close. Revert to mean. That's nice. Can't complain. I'm like excited to see when Stratify finally fixes their website and brings everything back. That journal feature they had is completely gone. I was a little bummed out. I don't know why. I don't know why Stratify updated everything. I don't think the only person in the world that thought the website was like beautiful the way that it was. That's just me. I thought like their website was great. I never looked at the Stratify website and was like, man, they need to change something. All the new stuff is like, all they did was like change it graphically, and it's kind of clunky looking. I don't know what they, apparently I mean, you wouldn't be going through such effort to redesign something unless you're doing one of two things. Either a new branding initiative, like you're trying to create a different impression for your brand or something, or you're prefacing some kind of new thing that you're going to introduce that requires new technology. Like for us, we had to update the marketplace website to be able to handle new things that we're going to put in there later. So maybe they're going to build something new for the website that the old website couldn't handle, or maybe they just decided they want a different branding. But maybe they're making new stuff, but like what else could you do with the prompt firm? They've got everything. So I don't know. I didn't ask Brett. Yeah, watch out for the people asking me to deposit $1 million in their account. Oh yeah, the East Street, stop at East 108. He's not from Brooklyn. There's no 952. You were pulling my leg, Steve Jones from Brooklyn. I knew it. I knew he was scheming and scamming the moment he picked up the phone. I knew it. And I don't even know how. I mean, I guess I'm just in some kind of database. I mean, I guess I own like, God, I've got like 15 companies, I feel like, under my name, LLCs and this and that. I feel like the minute you open one, you're in some kind of database somewhere. And then I'd like to talk to the business owner. Yeah, which business, bruh? Yeah, where's the journal? So I talked to the affiliate manager today. I didn't want to bother like Brett or the tech guy. So I just went to the affiliate manager and I was talking to him. And he said that the journal was having some issues, so they took it down to repair it. And so they're repairing it. So it's actually gone for a little bit. And I answered the phone. Yeah, exactly right. How can you stop those calls? You're getting like 10 a day. Yeah, like you really can't. It kind of sucks. And it sucks is that when you pick up the phone and you look at the caller ID, it'll say like something, something police department, or something, something hospital. And you're like, well, I got to answer that because what if somebody I know is in trouble and I'm their one phone call? What if, God forbid, like someone in my family's in the hospital and you pick it up and you're like, hello, I'd like to speak to the business owner. And I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. You give me a heart attack thinking my mom or somebody could be in danger or something's happening in my family. Do I journal my trades? I don't journal anymore, but not that journaling is bad. Journaling is great. I just don't. Journaling is to help you with your mental game as far as like what you're feeling and what you're experiencing while you're trading, not necessarily like strategy discussion. I usually split them up into two different modes. Like journaling and strategy analysis are like two different things you should do. Writing down what you did. Strategy analysis is I bought here, I sold here, the trade didn't work. Here's the probability of it. Here's the setup. this and that, this and that. And this is strategy analysis, which you should do to like get good at a strategy. But the journaling, I always say, is that people kind of merge them together when I don't think is the best way to go about it. Journaling is like isolating your behaviors. Journaling would be like, today I woke up late. I was in a bad mood because I got in a fight. And then I like completely jumped in on a trade. And then I jumped in on another trade. And then I just was like chasing trades and I lost and I was all frazzled. And then you're like, okay, now you're learning something about your mental state while you're trading. The journal will help you, like a diary. What was I going through that day? Okay, and I learned some behaviors I can change. And so journaling is good for you to master the mental game part of trading. Find that sweet spot where you know you operate at the best of your ability, not just that you're winning or losing trades. And strategy analysis is another form of journaling, which doesn't talk about the emotions. It just talks about the setup you did. And does it work or does it not work? One of them explores, is your trading strategy good? The other one explores, are you any good? How are you doing? And if you find out that there's a trend, like every time you know, your kids are running in the room while you're trying to trade, you mess up a trade, you'll start to recognize patterns of your behaviors that you want to change. But journaling, the ultimate goal of journaling is to recognize patterns and behaviors that you want to change. It's the only reason to journal. If you're doing it for any other reason, you're wasting your time. Writing stuff down makes no sense unless you're studying it later. So the idea is can you find errors in your behavior by logging the things that you do? And then you can go back and start to study your own stuff. And maybe there's something you're doing that you don't know. Like every time you don't drink your coffee, you overtrade or something, or right? You know what I'm saying? You're going to find something that might be key to an improvement, right? That's kind of what you're trying to do. You're similar to your views and approach, Sirbuck. Yeah, 100%. And the reason I don't do strategy analysis, I mean journaling anymore, I only basically do strategy analysis, and I don't actually journal it day by day. I am very good at remembering what I did and analyzing it on the spot. Like I've kind of mastered my strategy. I know how I operate, and I don't have many variables anymore. I operate the same way every day, and I don't go off the cuff. If I go off the cuff, then I'll sit there and kind of like in the boot camp analyze what I did to everybody. But normally I do the same thing every day, and it's pretty consistent. And why I don't journal anymore is because I've kind of mastered the mental game. I don't really have a lot of stuff get in my head. I have a perfect routine of trading. I get up at the same time every day. I do the same routine every morning. I don't have a lot of variables in my mental game. I don't have a lot of like mental traumas to work through. I pretty much stay cool, calm, and collected whether I'm winning or losing. I've kind of, at this stage of the game, 15 years in, I've mastered as much as I can the emotional game to a degree that I don't need to journal anything. I can't improve much. I've kind of like made every micromanaging decision I can in my personal life, like to get over, you know, to work out more, to be healthy more, to eat right, to do all that stuff. And I'm kind of doing everything I think I need to be doing for trading, even though there's always room for improvement. I don't want to say that like I can't improve. I think it's diminishing returns for me at this point. Because I'm in a mode where both my strategy and my emotional game are on point, and I'm winning. And so when you got to the sweet spot when you're winning, the question is, do you fix it if it ain't broke? So I'll probably start journaling again if I start noticing problems like inconsistencies or something. And I want to kind of track down, is it something I'm doing? Then yeah, maybe, right? It's funny how many gurus would argue with you and say it's absolutely necessary and you'll never make it unless you journal every single trade. Yeah, right. That's the way they justify selling you a service. Like, oh, bro, just take more classes. Oh no, well the pattern just works, man. Just trust me. Or you need to study more and learn more. That's how they keep you dangling a carrot. By continue to have you working on something that's failed. Like, just journal it, man. You'll figure out why you're not making money. You're like, the strategy's bogus. Like, you're like, can you go through my boot camp? Yeah, no, I've seen people that sell like 120-day trading class boot camps. Like, you know, like it's to keep dangling the carrot so you keep paying for it. Yeah, for a low price of 6,000 to review your trades with you. Right. And so journaling is very important, but it's like the guru folks is like, it's like a standard package for trading guru. They're going to tell you all this stuff to do. Everything to just keep you working and spinning your wheels to make you feel like you're getting some kind of value. That's why a lot of them do it. And a lot of them probably sell journaling software as an affiliate. personally, just like any kind of self-help, journaling is to help you discover patterns in your own behavior. And if you think you need improvement, journaling's great. But you can journal the wrong things and gain nothing out of it. You're just spending a lot of time gaining nothing. Strategy analysis, what I do most of, is analyzing numbers, analyzing data. How often does this trade work? What are the conditions that make this trade work? Can I get some better insight onto this trade? And like, that's all the, like, it's divided where emotions are here and trade setup is here, and then find patterns in both. Like, we found patterns over the years, a long time ago. This is kind of funny. This is where strategy analysis came into play. You guys know on the liquidity maps, back in the day, one of my least favorite days was liquidity pocket. We used to think bull side, bear side. If you open the middle, it usually stays in the middle. And we used to be like, oh man, this is kind of crummy. It's just balance. What a boring day, liquidity pocket. But over the years, as we analyzed them, as more came out, we actually found out that when we created the DD ratio, when the DD ratio is greater than half, this trade worked 9 out of 10 times. So it became now my favorite trade through strategy analysis. And that was very important to understanding. And also through strategy analysis, we actually found out that shorting off a hedge pressure only was about a 60% chance under best conditions. There used to be red lines here and here. And because it was only 60%, we removed the setup shorting against weekly hedge pressure, because even though it's 60%, that's good enough to not good enough to call it a trading strategy. Ideal conditions 60%, which means it's roughly a coin flip on the short side under non-ideal conditions. So then we removed it, right? So our strategy constantly evolves as we gain more insight into like where it applies the best. And strategy analysis is amazing for that. You should always be analyzing but things that matter, right, that you can improve on. Stats. I have like, there's this thing I do. What are the statistics of this? And am I okay with that? What do I define as like a strong pivot or a weak pivot? And then that's where that's useful. The gurus are like, yeah, keep studying the charts, man, studying the charts. ICT crowd's really big about that too. The gurus out there are like, just keep studying the charts, man. Like the more you stare at the noise, you're going to come to some like epiphany, like you're on mushrooms or something. And all of a sudden it comes to you out of thin air. Like, oh my God, this was the secret the whole time. Most of the pattern sellers are going to keep you spinning the wheel. Like the more you look at it, you'll ultimately get it. In reality, you're just staring at noise and trying to find patterns in noise, and you're not going to. 15 years of doing this and being a mathematician, I'll tell you, the market pattern people are just finding tiny patterns in the middle of white noise. Patterns don't exist in trading. It just doesn't. I can prove it to anybody that wants to argue me otherwise. I can prove it with math. I can prove it with some cool examples too, but yeah, use my TradeZilla affiliate code. Yeah, right. But I mean, there are some things that happen sometimes, like when markets span a distance, it retraces to half. This is something that's behaviorally there, and there's something that's mechanically here as well, right? Any distance always likes to touch the half, right? This is just a normal binary searching sort of thing. Dealers are spanning or quoting to find liquidity. That's, you can call that maybe a pattern, right? But it doesn't have any predictability on which way it goes from here. No trading pattern can say from here, it goes there. And my first question that I always hear from people that are studying like bull flags and bear flags is, which way does it go? Well, it's a 50-50 shot. A pattern just allows you to see that something's consolidating or not consolidating. That's it. In the middle, consolidating. On the edges, not consolidating. So from the middle, this is where you take your bet. At least from here, you know, the pattern can just kind of line you up to say, like, where do you trade from? But which direction's random? Every time. Just like, but then people, it's like, keep staring at the charts, you'll get it. You never get it. Right? The only person I found so far that isn't just analyzing chart technicals and explaining why something could be happening with the data, which is why you're all on RS. Appreciate you, bud. I like to look at the market from a very realist perspective. The premise I start off with is that the market has no predictability. What can I build off of that? Like, the idea is that most people are building off of they're building a castle on top of quicksand, I like to say. Is the quicksand you're doomed no matter what you do, your castle will sink. The castle in quicksand is that you're assuming that the market is predictable in whatever fashion. This is millions of independently acting people for their own self-preservation and self-gain. They have zero interaction with each other. How on earth is humanity somehow correlating their behaviors with each other? That's like walking to a crowd of people and predicting which one's going to walk left and which one's going to walk right. How can you do that? It's silly. And so there's no bulk behavior either. Like, yeah, you can go to a street. Majority of people are driving this way and driving this way. In bulk, yes, sometimes occasionally people will be turning. But is there bulk behavior? You know, we study Eulerian and Lagrangian mechanics and fluid dynamics, which is study individual particle inside of a fluid or the fluid itself. If all the fluid is moving this way in a pipe, then you know all the fluid's going this way. But what's the speed of one particle? Well, if it's here, it's slower than if it's here, it's faster. So you can't really study one particle because you can't zoom in and view it, right? So the same thing with humanity and the stock markets, you can't zoom in on one particle and know, well, I know that this one trader, this one place is going to buy or sell. Each individual person's motives are completely behind a veil that you can't pierce. And so the net sum of everyone's behavior also is behind a veil you can't pierce. So the idea is there a bulk mechanic of what people do? As far as I've been able to tell, anecdotally from my experience, is that you can't find a bulk pattern of what people do other than when markets consolidate, then they move. But there's no breakout predictability like up or down. And that's pretty a normal thing. It's like when markets are liquid, then they move when one side gets imbalanced. And how do you know who imbalances it? You can't predict it. And so I start there. Well, fractal patterns are a natural part of anything in life. And fractal patterns do kind of exist, but they're not, again, not predictable. They just state something. A fractal, right? MOC started. So a fractal example would be like if the market is moving here and you find buyers and then markets are going up until you find sellers and then markets are coming down. Where is the harmony between the buyers and sellers? Well, you can divide by half and ask the question, is it liquid here? Nope, there's still more buyers. Okay, so let's go half the distance. Oh, are there more sellers than buyers? Nope, there's more sellers. So not liquid again. Let's find the middle. Aha, it's balanced. Half, 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 half creates that fractal sort of behavior by just the natural instinct of spanning a range and going to the half to find the middle, because the liquidity provider's goal is to find the middle, find the equilibrium, find liquidity. So fractal patterns will naturally emerge, but again, there's no predictability. You can pick a spot and you'll see after the fact that there was a pattern, but the whole way you can't predict which node you pivot on. If you span a range and you divide this infinitely into halves and halves and halves and quarters and quarters and quarters and quarters and eighths, and you keep going over and over and over again, you'll start to see that whatever the market randomly does is going to also randomly move on these kind of nodes, because that's just half of half of half, 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 half. But then it only works in hindsight. So fractal patterns are just going to look good in hindsight. Predictability, you're not going to be able to predict anything from that. All right, looks like MOC kicked on and we're moving up a couple points here. Does that make sense about fractals? In hindsight, everything looks like it was a pattern, right? But in reality, it's only useful to you as a trader is if you can forecast where it is. It's easy to know if you span a range, you touch the half. Well, when you touch the half, which way does it go? To the half of the half this way or to the half of the half this way? Your guess is as good as mine. Looks like it went up. And the fact that we moved up, traded half and traded up half, now we're a fourth of the distance. A little fractally going on there. Could you have predicted which one? How about now? Which one are we touching next? How about at the eighths? Which one are we touching next, right? So after the fact, you will see that the market kind of converges into sort of a fractal-ish sort of thing. But then again, that's just a natural occurring mechanic of anything that subdivides upon itself. And you see that pattern all throughout nature. It's just the nature of nature. It's kind of neat. Half and half not. Who are the haves and who are the have nots, right? But I think of Al Brooks's price action strategies. I actually never studied any of the Al Brooks's stuff, but there's a lot of people that really talk highly about it. So I don't know enough about it, but a lot of people say something about it. Again, I'm one of the people that doesn't subscribe to price action theories. I think price action, again, is more random than anything. But again, agree to disagree if you don't believe that. I've set my foundation on the fact of I believe the market is purely random. So I don't waste my time trying to find patterns in the noise. Just for that reason. BlackRock's Aladdin AI. Would AI algo with as much influence in the market result in potentially recognizable recurring patterns it naturally creates as an AI algo? Well, computers can recognize patterns with other computers. The problem is the computer trying to follow a pattern, or is the computer trying to disrupt the pattern? With AI, you get to ask both of those questions. It's either programmed to disrupt or programmed to learn and adapt. And again, if the AI gets stronger, it just becomes more human. And again, humans are designed to disrupt and do their things for their own incentive. Humans aren't necessarily going to be following a pattern. If you're in a margin call, you're going to sell. Who cares what the pattern is, right? And so an AI is going to run into the same problems a human will, which is the same conclusion that there are no patterns, because the AI is not behaving systematically. The AI is adapting, learning, and reacting to the market just like we are. And therefore, the AI is not only going to be as random as we are, but it's also just going to be more efficient at being random, meaning that it's going to make better decisions while being random. So an AI at best can only be a slightly better trader than a human, but there's no AI that's going to be able to predict the stock market, because the net sum of all things, even if all traders were AI, would still be random. So that's a good thought. I've always thought about that. AI will just be more efficient at being random. I don't think the net sum of all AI trading, they'll just, maybe like market crashes instead of with humans. Maybe the market, like we have a bear market that lasts for a year. Maybe with AI, the bear market lasts for 9 months, 8 months. You'll still have a bear market, but maybe they're more efficient at identifying, analyzing more information at once and assessing risk much better than a human will, therefore buying the dip much sooner. The patterns of market will crash and all this will still be there. AI might just be more efficient at moving the market cleaner and faster. So I don't know how Aladdin works, but that was a general thought on AI. I haven't really studied Aladdin's AI-based trading algo, though. Not really sure. I'm going to research it. It's programmed to hunt liquidity. Oh, that's kind of dope. I don't know. Yeah, I need to look at it. 14 quadrillion calculations a second. 14 quadrillion calculations a second. Yeah, I can't compete with that. I can do like maybe half a calculation a second sometimes. All right, guys, that's the end of the day. Be careful. We've got earnings coming up pretty soon. I'm in no active trades right now. I'm just chilling and waiting. I don't think I'm going to be in an active trade leading into earnings. I have no desire to gamble on anything. I think I'm done for the day. Rocket Scooter, Aladdin, AI, Genie Bot 5000 sounds like the best trading algo in the history of trading algos. All right, guys, I'm going to bounce out of here. Bootcamp starts 10 minutes after market close, so we'll see you guys. This is the last day of the bootcamp. Congrats all of you that made it all the way to the final course. After this, we got 2 bonus classes and then a trader funding program masterclass. If you guys haven't signed up for the bootcamp, we start again in about 3 weeks. It's $20 for 20 days. It's on the Rocket Place website. The description has all the links. $1 a class. It's this huge, substantial trading bootcamp that we teach. One of the best things we do. And so I'll be out of here. We'll see y'all bootcamp in just a little bit. Can you trade my funded during earnings? I think you can. Yeah. All right, I'm out.